this because I don't want to go too much into this book. Because this one, and this is just to prove that they knew that Christopher Columbus was aware and that he had Moreno interpreters. It says Albuquerque gave 2 Spanish Jews many tokens of his esteem and induced them to abandon Judaism at least for a short time. One of them called himself Francisco Albuquerque, which is also written about in this book. No, not that. That's my Bible. That's my dictionary Bible. Oh, there you go. Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. All right. So in the Lost Tribes and Promised Lands, it talks about that interpreter and his role in helping Christopher Columbus communicate with the people that were over here, which you're gonna solidify in your book, Esau, in this Jewish pictorial history book. So it says that at least for a short time, one of them called himself Francisco de Albuquerque after his patron, whom he loyally served as interpreter. All right, so they had interpreters coming over here to the New World to talk to the people over here that spoke this language, and I'm gonna go right to that. Morenos, here we go. Page 211. It says the records of the Inquisition in Mexico revealed that more than 900 trials of Judaizing heresy was brought against Morenos in the country during the 16th and 17th century. This would clearly prove that there was a large Moreno population in Mexico during that period. Now this is the 1600s, 14, 15, 1600s. All right. It says, it is known that one Moreno, a shipbuilder, Hernando Alonso, who came in the train to Cortez, was rewarded by Cortez with a large grant of land for his part of the conquest of Mexico City in 1521. But only 7 years later, he was charged with practicing Judaism in secret and burned. But that's what he get for helping them fucking rats against his own piece of shit. And then so they burned him to death because basically what they were doing was covering up evidence. Here they have a picture of a Jake woman getting burned to death too by them damn so-called Christians, and other Jakes being burned at the stakes. And this one in the background looks like a Negro.
Right. Yes.
All right. I mean, it's a small picture, but it's an artist's depiction from 1601. And if you look at the one in the background that's getting burned, it looks like a Negro. Because they started, the Moors and Morenos that helped them, they killed them. They put them to death. So this is a record of it that Esau has in his own book. The same way them Gadites, them scouts that helped Esau track down Geronimo, end up on the same train with him in chains. And he looking at them like, you see your dumb asses? Yeah. And that one Gadite looked at them and said, I will hate you forever. And they just holding their heads down because they look like some dummies because you didn't help track down your brothers. And then the white man with you fucking Uncle Tomahawks, man. And you gonna help hunt down your brother, and then you end up in chains next to him. You know what? I took my chain and wrapped it around your throat and choked the shit and just choked you into the spirit world because that's what you would deserve. Actually, we would have beat the shit out you first and then choked you into the spirit world.
Right.
All right. It says, let's read some more accounts of this. So here's Esau. This is Latin America giving up the history. See how fragile this book is? I tore shit up just trying to pull the stick off.
Right.
All right. It says 3 leaders of Mexican Israel. Does it say? Damn. Israeli cultural relations. Left to right, Alfonso, and that's what they do. Alfonso Francisco Ramirez, and what they do is they set up a puppet.
That's right.
They'll set up, and then they change your name and they set up a puppet leader over you. That's what they do. They change your history and then they set up a puppet leader over you. So you got these 2 fake Jews, and then they set up this Israeli, whatever his name, Alfonso Ramirez person. Now you got this puppet, and so now you think you're a Mexican. So Esau just giving up the history. It says the most noted of all Mexican Morenos was Conquistador Luis Caraval. to whom King Philip II of Spain had given patents in exploring, governed an area which today would extend from Tampico in Mexico to San Antonio, Texas. Accused of the secret practice of Judaism. So they used you as interpreters to come over here and talk to the Northern Kingdom and gave you a little bit, and then they turned around and killed all your asses. Right? Go ahead, brother.
This is Obadiah, and this is how cool the scriptures are, because it was talking about, you know, Judah as well, but it was also talking about the Israelites, and it talked about the Northern Kingdom too. This is starting with verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, 12 tribes, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And the day that thou stoodest on the other side, and the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them. But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brothers, and the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. The day of he said, in the gate of my people. They entered to the gate over when we was in Israel, and sacked General Vespasian and Titus, whatever, back in 70 AD. But they also entered to the gate of the so-called Latinos land over here,
right,
and the so-called Native Americans land over
That's
here.
Right.
Thou shouldest, go ahead.
And killed and burned them.
That's right.
And took and pillaged their lands.
Thou
take away their homes by violence.
Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity, which was the time of their calamity, so that the Deuteronomy 28 can happen on all Israel. All right? Yea, thou shouldest not have looked upon their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. And they're still got their hands on their substance today. From all tribes, man.
Right. Finally, of the secret practice of Judaism, he was tried. That's the secret Jews, the Morenos, because what was going on was that at this time, and they're admitting this in this book. They're telling you the history right here in this book. The Morenos knew that they were Jews, and they accepted Christianity outright just to avoid being killed. But in secret, they practiced the Bible.
That's right.
They knew that they were Jews, and they kept their high holy days. And basically, they were rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of their ability in secret. That's why they were called Morenos, or the secret Jews. Okay? It says, finally, the secret. He was accused of finally of secret practice of Judaism. He was tried in exile in 1590. His nephew, bearing the same name, was burned at the stake in Auto de Cafe in 1596. More than 100 other Morenos met the similar fate at the hands of Inquisition during the decade. And they were being burned simply because they were really Jews, the real Jews of the tribes of Benjamin, Levi, and Judah, the Southern Kingdom.
Salakia, yeah, I got a precept up to back you brothers up about how they burn them at the stake. And Sirach 12, Sirach 12, and starting at 10. There you go, brother. Yeah, because it's showing how, you know, them sellout niggas, man, them Uncle Tomahawks.
Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
That's right.
Okay, go to the...
Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
God, so that's going to you Uncle Tomahawk niggas,
right,
and all you sellout jakes. You know, like the brother said, he was sitting right next to him in them chains. You know, it's just like if iron rusted. You know, you seen that rust, it's still there, man. Because after you done just sold your damn brother out, the scripture just said, don't trust your enemy.
And we
now you in chains.
Right,
goofy
right
nigga.
in the same chains you got him put in, you sitting right next to him.
And we asked these motherfucking coons and crackers, everybody on the line on a week in and week out basis. At the time of when they was bringing these motherfuckers off the slave ships, at the time when those motherfuckers came over and come over into the native, so-called Native Indians land and the so-called Tainos, to Latinos land, were we friends or were we enemies with these motherfucking bastards? We were enemies. They all say it. Then how can we trust these motherfuckers? This is Psalms 55, and I'll start off with I'll start with verse 19. God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, Salah, because they have no changes. Therefore they fear not the Most High. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He has broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. War was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. So when you go into the history, and there's a lot of pictures in this book that we haven't even gone into, there's a lot of more details in that book. In this book, Nature Knows No Color Lines, the 12 tribes, the cost of the 12 tribes, the scriptures, artifacts, and they have that exposes everything that they do. But at the same time, out of their mouth, they saying, "Oh, but we're the Jewish people," and then they'll come back and say, "Well, no, actually, during the 15th century, and and they'll go with some smooth talk, buttery talk, and sit there and pull a whole bunch of false ass doctrine, a whole bunch of lies, and got the evidence is right now. Everybody in the majority of mainstream the world is duped when Revelations 2 and 9 and Revelations 3 and 9 say that at the end of time, this is the situation that's going to be. We can't go through a lesson talking about the Jewish people without hitting these scriptures.
You're right. You know what I'm saying? You're right.
Revelations 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. You show me an impoverished Jewish bastard right now. All right? And I'll show you somebody who the Most High has double fucked. All right? Because majority of the Jewish people, they got money.
Yeah, that's right.
They not only got money, they got trillions of dollars.
They live well, man. I know a lot of fake Jews, man.
That's right. Now,
I've been working with them for years, and I've been in and out of their homes, and they live well.
That's right.
Yeah.
They live well.
Now, they'll fuck over their own people, but I saw a motherfucking white motherfucker begging off the expressway, dropping off Brother Karab, and I was like, man, Most High, he must have been some Antiochus or some, maybe he was one of these wicked motherfuckers back in the day, which, maybe he was one of the ones, the Roman soldiers or something, and the Most High just giving him some shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. But he says, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. Revelations 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
That's right. And so, you know what? These Amalek, that's who you really are, you fake Jews. It's gonna be you Amalekites, man. It's really gonna be a beautiful day to watch you go down. All right. But in this book, it's going to let you know that there are Morenos all throughout Brazil, all throughout Bolivia and Chile. They're basically
South America.
They're letting you know, right? They're Morenos, Argentina, Uruguay, Peru, right? And then you wonder how the elder Arya got the break. The Lord gave it to us. Saram, Cuba. Come on, man. So they basically went through all the 12 tribes with the Morenos. All this is about the Morenos in this book. Now, just to show you how full of shit it is, they even call themselves, they talking about a Jewish duke. The Bible tells you that the dukes are the sons of Edom.
Turn around. Let's show them that picture. And I'm going to get
the Duke of Nixon, right where my finger is. As a matter of fact, that's the fuck you finger. Right at him.
They still going by that same name.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Dukes, the Dukes were Edomites. Yep. Amalek.
This I got a precept. This is Genesis 36, start with 1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Right?
Cut.
Go jump down to verse 8.
Slice.
Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom.
You're bleeding.
And this is jump down to verse 19. These are the sons of Esau, who is Edom, and these are their dukes.
Enough said.
Can I expand on that too,
Go
bro?
ahead,
Because it say they is Edom, and Edom means red, and it just gave you their color right there in the same scriptures. They nation and they color.
It's just this. Yeah.
And it says that the dukes, and if you go down the scriptures, they said this is Duke not. This is verse 17. No matter of fact, verse 15. These were the dukes of the sons of Esau. The son of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esau, Duke Teman, Duke Omar, Duke Zepho, Duke Kenaz, Duke Korah, Duke Gatan, and Duke Amalek.
Amalek.
Right?
You know what? This is exactly why they whooped your ass in slavery, man.
God.
Right. You got caught reading the Bible, man. Because the Bible is ours, man.
And the Bible is your judgment book, and the Bible is the witness against you. And there's a scripture about that. If these scriptures be, I remember listening to Elder Gabar bring that scripture out. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but basically said that these words written down are evidence against you. These scriptures are evidence against
Wisdom
you.
of Solomon too. It's even wisdom. Is there one of Wisdom of Solomon too? They was made to reprove our thoughts.
Yeah.
God.
That's right. I'll get that real quick.
Well, go ahead and get that while I bring out this cut right here.
I think it's Jeremiah, the 25th chapter. It said Jeremiah, he's a prophet to all the nations. Man.
That's right.
Not just to Israel, but to all the nations. So everybody's judgment is written in the Bible, man.
That's right.
God.
Now here's what they have to say about the Talmud. Okay, the Torah and the Talmud. The Talmud, it said the Talmud says about the Torah, it is not the Torah of priests, nor is the Torah of Levites, nor is the Torah of the Israelites, but the Torah of man. So they're telling you that the Talmud is a book written by man. So
and then if you go into the Torah, which is the Thawara, the actual first 5 books of the Bible, show me a scripture that confirms what he said. That that the actual Thawara was written for everybody on the planet. Because we read Deuteronomy 33, then shall Israel dwell in safety alone. Then how is that for all man?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They contradict. Everything they do is contradictory to the scriptures.
So now what I'm going to do is we're going to prove that they admit that they're Khazars, that they're Yiddish-speaking Khazars, and that history is in this book. Okay, and then we're gonna shut it down, and we're gonna do part 2 some other time.
Now, but this book is loaded. Got tons
it's
of
a
pictures.
lot of stuff in here.
What's the name of the book again, brother?
A pictorial history of Jewish people, and it was printed in 1950.
You're not going to
really
find
old.
this
They ain't
book
gonna
that
find
many
it.
days,
God,
you know what I'm
God,
saying? You find revisions and things. They're going to take things out now.
Oh yeah, if you found this book revised, it's not going to be this book. Right.
I mean, they do it all
just
the
like
time.
they did the Bible pictorial, the new Zondervans, man. The new Zondervans. They took out.
They killed the Ham scripture.
Yeah, they took it out. They took it out.
Pull it straight out.
Because they seen that the men of the Lord coming out and using their shit against their
We need to revise that. Let's make a new
Right. It's too late.
I mean, it's so cold-blooded. Like if the ISA would use this program that we call is on Scripture www.scripture for all the number 4 all.org is a program that we get, and it goes into the actual Hebrew and it got the Greek. When I first got the program, it showed you the actual scripts, and then they'll do updates, and then they'll add stuff and show and take away things and add things, just so you don't get the whole understanding what it really was original. If you had your hand on the scrolls itself, that's how they're wicked, man. That's why they do revisions. Yeah. But something that is perfect doesn't need to be revised. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why the scripture says in Psalms that the Most High's words are purified 7 times and tried through the fire, and they're perfect. You know what I'm saying?
You know what that proves? That proves it's the truth, man. If we pulling something out the Bible dictionary, you go back behind us and you done took it out. You ain't do nothing but make us make us look
right. Because we're gonna keep the first edition. Right, and the one we have, I think, is like the second or third edition.
Yep.
So they still didn't probably pull more out.
Because they added the word Jew in there. Because the original one didn't have it.
And Salaki, that goes back to the scripture that Brother Brown got earlier. Surely your turning of things upside down should be as things at the potter's clay. Because even though they do their bullshit, they still gonna make themselves look like dumbasses in the long run, you know. Because the Most High still do everything, you know.
And he still showing.
You take it out, but we still got the version where it's in there, so we showing that you took it out because of what you said.
Right,
right. You should have left it alone. You know.
Right. Now you can't.
Why you had to take it out?
Right. Like you said, they think they're smart and they're not.
Smart dumbass.
Right. Right. Like getting Cat Williams said, sitting up on my couch, smarter than a dumb motherfucker.
God.
Psalms 12:6. The words of the Lord are pure words, as silver tried in the furnace of the earth, purified 7 times. Thou shalt keep them, O Lord, thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. So he's letting you know right there, while the wicked is all around, there's going to be the Most High is keeping this word pure and giving it to the elect through Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord will do nothing but reveal his secret to his servants, the prophets. So you can do what you want. You can burn every copy. And the Most High is still going to reveal this truth to the men of the Lord.
God, like Romans, man. Romans, when he said, no, I think it's the elect have attained it and the rest was blinded. So it don't matter what you do, the elect is gonna get it and they gonna see through your bullshit. So as much as you put up, it don't matter, man. The elect of Israel still gonna understand, man. Still gonna get it.
It's funny because I was actually holding that. Go ahead.
This is page 129 in this book where they gonna just fall on their sword a couple times on this one. This is the Jewish kingdom of Khazaria. A pictorial history of the Jewish people. I got Arthur Koestler right here. All right? But it's no need for Arthur because the Jewish kingdom of Khazaria. All the astonishing experience of the widely dispersed Jewish people, none more extraordinary than concerning the Khazars. The Khazars during the Byzantine era were aggression of warlike tribes who in conjecture must have sprung from the Hun and Turkish stock sperm. All right, there's no Israelites and Huns or Turks. All right, they occupied a vast stretch of territory sprawling north of the Caucasus and including the entire Volga region. This area was called the Kingdom of Khazaria. Its geographic position, strategically posed between Persia and Byzantine, gave it great commercial and military importance. The Byzantine empires respected its fighting power and eagerly sought a military alliance with it against the Sassanid kings of Persia. With the time, Khazars succeeded to establish themselves firmly in Crimea, that's Russia, by the way. They began then an aggression war against the Slavian tribes inhabiting the lands of the West, which was their own people. Finally subjugated the Russian boyars of Principality of Kiev, reduced them to vassalage, and forced them to pay annual tribute. With dramatic suddenness, the Khazars entered the orbit of Jewish life. One of their Kagan kings, called Bulin, was converted to Judaism about the year 740 CE. And with him went the Khazar tribes. Was their tradition believed by the Khazar themselves? The Bulin decided to become Jews after he listened to the disputation participated in by an Arab mullah and a Christian priest and a rabbi on the relative merits of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. So he picked Judaism for his people. All right?
And the reason why is because according to the scriptures, the Jews are the rulers. According to the scriptures, the Jews are the chosen. According to the scriptures, Jews are the only, he said in Joel 2:27, only you have I known. Out of all the people of the planet. I don't fuck with nobody else. And nothing else. Sons of fucking thieving bitches.
Here you go. Right. From Crimea, which is Russia, where the Khazars were.
Kremlin.
After the fall of the Jewish kingdoms of Khazaria, they continued to arrive, fleeing from Russian boyars of Kiev, who after 7 centuries of vassals to Jewish kings, see 7 centuries later now they think they're actually Jews.
I mean, but not beautiful. The fucked up thing about it is they took 350 years to erase, our people, one generation and one generation removed, teaching us that we're just now African American now. The same thing, if you tell these Jewish people, these guys who come up on the line, they think they Jews.
They do.
They do. They've been fooled by their own people as they've been taught year after decade after century that they're the so-called
But not all of them. Some of them know that they're not Jews.
The high elites.
Some of them know. Some of them come up and they're like, yeah, they know. Like some brother put up a video with some Jewish guys that was admitting that
they know that they're not the real Jews.
Yeah, that his rabbi said, yeah, we're Khazars. He
brother in Ohio.
Yeah. It says from Crimea to Kremlin. After the fall of the Jewish kingdom of Khazaria, they continued to arrive, fleeing from Russian boyars of Kiev, who after several centuries of vassalage to the Jewish kings, have finally risen in a revolt and conquered them. In time, these Khazar Jews blended with other Jewish elements in Poland and ultimately lost their ethnic group identity after the Crusades and massacres which followed the Black Death. All right?
Follow what?
Following the Black Death.
Now, who would the Black Death kill?
Right.
Black folks. That was a disease by the Most High to decrease our power during the after the Byzantine Empire, during the so-called Middle Ages, Dark Ages. That's one of the main reasons why we fell out of power, because the Most High did that. And that's how they used that, us falling down, to be risen up. But that's the Most High doing that so the prophecies can come to pass.
It's funny that I would read that and then you would say that, and this is next. Rich Yiddish culture. Polish Jewish cultures, because now they're in spread. Because the real Jews were dying off in the moors, and now 7 centuries later, they think they're the real Jews.
That's right.
And now they're taking Hebrew characters and matching them up with their language to form a whole new language, which is Yiddish. So they use a Hebrew character to speak Yiddish, as if that's the way Hebrew sounds, and it doesn't. All right, rich Yiddish culture, which was the mass arrival of Jews from Germany, Bohemia in the middle of the 14th century, and the Slavic, same people they just took over and conquered and fought. Right. And then they went down, and then they mixed in, all right? Polish Jewish culture was rapidly transformed into the Yiddish-speaking one. Polish Jews adopted the Ashkenazic rites, literally religion, customs, and of the German Jews, as well as a method of Torah and Talmud study. There's no book, there's no mate unto her. Isaiah 34:16, somebody please. You can't match another book up with the Bible. Study and the use of Yiddish as the language of oral translation and discussion. By the 16th century, except for an inevitable regional variation of homogeneous Jewish culture had crystallized, besides the Hebrew element dominant in religious life, it was based on the common secular use of Yiddish in speech and in writing. A Yiddish literature principally of devotional and moralistic character evolved among the Jews of Germany, Switzerland, Australia, Bohemia, Lithuania, Galatia, Poland, Russia, Hungary, and northern Italy. Yiddish thus became a sort of lingua franca, practically an international language that bound together the Jews of Eastern and Central Europe, and they just gave you the history, how they came, all these people we just read, Germany, Switzerland, Australia, Bohemia, Lithuania, Galatia, Poland, Russia, Hungary, Northern, are all people that came from